Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. Oh, I'm sorry. You might have caught us right in the middle of something. I apologize. Carol, we got to get a room. We can't let them see what really goes on behind the scenes. So what do you think just happened? What do you think happened? Did we have a fight? Did we have a skirmish? But the interesting thing is, did we say anything to each other? Did we utter a word? By the way, you can talk now.
Oh, okay. Nope, we didn't utter a word.
We didn't say a word.
We motioned.
But I have a hunch that they knew what was going on.
Okay, let's see if they did.
So what do you think was going on? Were we very friendly? No. Were we having an argument? Yeah. By the way, in the argument, who was getting attacked? Yeah, it was... Okay, that's okay. It was me. That's right, it was me. And by the way, who resisted the argument? Who went like this in the defensive position, saying it's not me? Who went ahead and went like this and said, come on, you really got to be kidding me, and trying to evaluate? It was me. And then she kept on attacking, and I kept on resisting. And then what did I do? I went like that, but I also put on my romantic face. And
that helped.
And what got her? That helped. So Carol and I want to welcome you to something very interesting. And that is, did you know that according to scientists, 85% of communication is body language? You don't even have to talk. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Watch this. You're not going to like this. I might offend some people. I apologize. You ready for this? Watch. What does this mean? Carol?
Peace. Victory.
Peace and victory. What does this mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
According to Winston Churchill, this means, and I'll be very delicate, screw you. There's another word for it. But screw you.
Oh, so that was backwards.
Yes, it was backwards.
Wow.
So back in
double entendre, or whatever they call that.
Double
backwards.
meaning. Double meaning.
Double meaning.
Yeah, a double entendre means you can use one word for two different things.
Okay, I guess you can.
Not on that one. No, on that one you got victory. On that one it's screw you. So instead of using the traditional, we're not going to say what it is, you can go ahead and go like that. It means the exact same thing. I bet you that's a body language you didn't know existed, but it did, and it still does.
So does that mean that it's used in England?
I don't know if it's still used in England. However, it was used at the time of Winston Churchill. That I will tell you. So we're going to delve deep into the science of body language. Into the science of body... Never know what happens. But the science of body language. And let's go back to the original time period. You know, when humans came about, they, according to science, and we're going to... Nothing to do with religion, but according to science, they did not even know how to talk. You know what they did?
They gestured.
They gestured. They grunted. Yeah, that's what they were. They grunted. They had no words. They had no language. And when they had no, I'm going to lower my voice. When they had no words and they had no language, they used body language. They made these motions. And I think we can all recognize the fact that when something started out with our ancestors, it went from generation to generation to generation. And you might not believe me, but would you believe Charles Darwin?
Well, yeah, he's the scientist.
And what was his basis? What is he best known for?
The creation theory.
No, the opposite, actually.
The opposite. The science theory.
The evolution.
The evolution.
Okay. You see how she goes like that? You know, boom.
I don't know.
See, she doesn't have to talk. Just like that. Just like that. So
The evolution.
So Charles Darwin was the first man to actually study the science of body language, going all the way back to 1872. And he determined, in addition to evolution, that all these things that I did before, and more that you're going to learn, all these things that I did before actually came from the background, and that's why when somebody doesn't talk, you know what they're doing. Now, you might say to yourself, come on, Andy, that's full of malarkey. I don't believe you. Some of you might even be going like this. You know, I bet you somebody out there is going like that.
I don't want to see this. I don't believe this.
That's exactly right.
I don't want to see
Now,
this.
someone will say, "Oh man, I got an itch in my eye." I gotta tell you a secret: you don't have an itch in your eye. That's body language. You bet. So let me tell you something. When you're talking to somebody and they start itching their eye like that,
Scratching their eyes.
scratching their eye, itching, whatever, they had no itching. They have no scratching. That is the body language for I can't see what you're saying. That's it. And that means you're not being clear enough. There's no clarity, and it's almost the same thing by saying, I don't believe you. By the way, if they go like that, you think they need a Q-tip?
No, they can't hear you. They don't want to hear you.
They don't want to hear you, or what they hear, the same thing, they don't accept. Did you ever realize a finger is this powerful? Just telling you. You never realize it, okay? These are all things. So if you don't believe me, I want you to go back to Charlie Chaplin. One of the
He's
greatest
the great mimic.
actor.
Actor.
Yeah, or Marcel Marceau was the mime in it. Mimic.
Charlie Chaplin. did
Charlie Chaplin. By the way, in the Charlie Chaplin movies, what lines did he have?
it. What line did he have?
Yeah.
None.
What did he speak?
Body language.
Body language. The
Pantomime.
The whole thing was done on body language. And by the way, who told him what kind of body language to use? The director. Where did the director know that? The director knew it from all the scientific studies of body language. Absolutely correct. Now, this you won't believe.
Try it.
This you won't believe. You won't believe this. The very first time you meet somebody, you think they're always telling the truth.
Hard to know.
When
Hard
you-
to know.
When you ask somebody, hey, how are you? My name's John. What's your
well,
name?
that's different.
No, the names are right. But then when you say, what did you do? The names are right, unless they're in the witness identity program. The names, I got to be quick here. The names are right, okay? But when you say, hey, where do you come from? What work did you have? Were you successful? And all these other probing questions, you're not going to like that. 3 out of every starting minutes of a 10-minute conversation when you meet somebody for the first time, they're fibbing.
Ooh.
Don't believe me? That's okay. Don't believe me?
Wait, are they fibbing or are they embellishing?
I didn't want to say the word lie.
Uh-huh. So they're
Okay?
fibbing. Okay.
They're lying. And then when challenged, and this is done by a survey of 2,000 people, guess what percentage of people admitted that they were lying?
Only 5%.
91%.
It said they were lying?
Said they were lying. Now, here's the point. I'm going to teach you some methodologies on how to tell whether somebody is lying or not. Not yet.
Not yet.
I got to hold your attention because I want to build it up. Now, you know the 3 monkeys?
Yeah.
What are the 3
They
monkeys?
they don't see, they
Right.
don't speak, they don't hear.
Exactly right. Where do you think they got that whole idea from?
Why don't you tell us?
From body language.
Body
They got that whole thing from body language. And you probably never knew that. Now, here's a question. Who has better ability to determine whether a person is lying or not? Is it the man or the woman?
The woman.
You want some time to think about it? Or you
No,
just,
it's the woman.
The woman. How do you know that so quickly?
I know, it's the woman.
Yes, the woman has the easiest time in telling whether somebody is dying or probably dying. Lying or not. So, for example, men, have you ever said this? I'm not guilty of this, so I got to read this, so it doesn't come from the top of my head. People say, the wife will say, well, how come you didn't call me? And the person says, well, my mobile phone battery died. That's why I couldn't call you. I have a hunch he was doing something else. Hey, how come you're late? My car ran out of gas. Now, you might think these are easy excuses to figure out that they're lies. But the woman can know because they are smarter. Oh, by the way, who lies more? Do men lie more or do women lie more?
I'm going to say women.
Huh. What do you say? It is true. Women lie more. You know what they lie about? Their age.
Weight. Did I have a
name it.
surgical treatment? Is this a natural beauty? Whatever.
Yes, it goes on and on and on and on. So here's how you can tell. One of the things you can tell that somebody is lying. So right now, the other day, I celebrated my 30th birthday.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, I celebrated my 30th
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you.
Okay? Now, you might say to yourself, okay, fine, I can tell by his face he's lying, but no. You see how often my eyes blinked when I did that? My eyes blinked quite a bit. As a matter of fact, a liar's eyes will blink about 5 to 50 times more than when the person is telling the truth. You know that?
Okay.
So, that's one of the ways that you can tell. But if you don't believe the story so far, let me share something that happened between Carol and I way back when. It's one of my favorite stories. So many of us are from New York, those that aren't. Have you ever heard of something called the choosing? Choosing. What is choosing? Odds or evens. So you go so somebody, let's say for example, I don't want to do the dishes. Of course I do. Understand that, right? I want to do the dishes. I want to do the dishes all the time. Do you see how often I blinked? So, I want to do the dishes all the time. But let's say I say, Carol, let's choose. And the winner gets their choice. Okay. Now you can either call odds or evens. So let's say I call evens. And you can either throw out a 2 or a 1. And we go once, twice, 3, shoot. If Carol throws out a 2 and I throw out a 2, that's evens. I win. If she throws out a 1 and I throw out a 1, that's evens. I win. If she throws out a 2 and I throw out a 1, that means she wins. Or like this. It's very simple. Very simple. It's very simple to do. I won every time. Did I not?
He did.
Every time.
Until he did.
I will wait till
He did.
Every time.
Every single
I could
time.
get out of anything I wanted to get out of. I could get into anything I wanted to get into. I hate to use the word because it was true. I have to admit, I could manipulate as often as I wanted by just calling for a choose. And she never ever wondered why she kept on losing. Now, I must admit, once in a while, just to keep it going, yeah, I made sure that she won, pardon me, so that she would never ever say, I don't want to do this anymore. This story is accurate, correct?
Very.
All right. Then one day I went over to her and I said, Carol, I think we were married for 6 months. I said, Carol, I have to tell you the truth. I am able to read what you are going to throw out because you have what's known as a tell in body language, and I could read it. So what was the tell? Do you remember?
Yes, the tell was that I blinked the number that I was going to throw out.
Yep.
If I was going to throw out a 2, I must have been blinking twice.
Correct.
Unconsciously.
Correct.
So he was watching that, and he knew which choose to throw out.
So the moment she would throw out a 1, she blinked once. The moment she would throw out a 2, she blinked twice. It was a thing of beauty. So I told her that, and I said, hey, let's choose, and we did, and I won all the times, and then I told her what happened. And I have to tell you something. We still choose. Yes, we do. But you know what? We cover our eyes. Now we can't.
Or I stare at him like this.
Yeah, she absolutely does. All right, so what are some of the things liars do? Well, first of all, they try and cover their mouth.
So you're not seeing what they're really saying.
Yes. Now, here's something else. Sometimes when a liar is lying, they scratch because they're not telling you the entire truth. Whenever you see somebody talking and they're scratching, please trust me on this. They don't have an itch. Not one thing is bothering them. This is proven scientifically. They're going like this. Okay? Yes.
And haven't we seen people giving speeches who are scratching their neck like this?
Yeah, but that's for a different reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's for a different reason.
Okay.
Another time somebody is lying is when they're having a conversation with you and then all of a sudden they say an untruth. You know what they do with their eyes? They
look
drop
down?
them. Yeah, they look down because that is the point that they are lying. Bet you never knew that. Now, how you use it is up to you. But I feel an obligation to tell you these things. I really do. So the other thing, sometimes you go like that, which also means you're embarrassed. Okay. Sometimes when somebody is lying, they touch their nose. while they're talking. Now, you might say, "Oh yeah, but their nose is running, and they got." Listen, if their nose was running, they'd get a tissue. You would see I don't know what the expression, liquids coming out. Okay, doesn't happen. So sometimes they'll go like that. Doesn't mean they're snubbing you or anything else like that. But why the nose? Listen to this. How many of us have heard of Pinocchio? Yep. What happens to Pinocchio's nose when he lies?
Grew longer and longer.
Yep. Do you think for any one moment that was done by the creator of Pinocchio because he decided to make that character? I bet you do. You know what? You're wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Scientifically has been proven that when you lie, more blood goes to your nose grows. You can't see it. It grows, and that's why you're touching it, because it's growing. Don't look at my nose. Okay? So, how about that? That you never knew that, right? All the body of science. Yes, we talked about the rubbing of the eye, and the sometimes too, believe it or not, a liar when they're talking will rub their eye. Sometimes. And then one of the most famous ones is something Carol Burnett used to do, but she did it for a different reason.
She did it for a different
Yes.
reason. She tugged her ear.
Tugged her ear.
She talked about her grandmother. It was a signal to her grandmother.
Yes. Aside from that, but sometimes when someone's lying to you, they're tugging their ear. Why? Any idea why?
They don't want to hear this anymore.
Close. They're looking for security, so they want something to hold on to. They're lying. Yes. So if you've ever seen somebody say that, so if somebody promises you something and says, you know what, that's the best price you're going to get. All right, I didn't do any lying stuff. But when somebody says, you know what, it's the best price you're going to get. You know what, that's the best price you're going to get. You know what, I can't go any lower on the price. You know what, can't do it. You know what, can't go any lower on the price. Guess what?
They're lying.
They're lying. If you think that doesn't work, you ought to see me negotiating.
You ought to see him negotiating.
Because
wow.
I can spot that a mile away because I'm trained.
Big mile.
And I believe it. And I've seen it done. So, what do you think about all of that?
Very interesting.
Now, if somebody's going like this during the presentation,
they're bored?
Yeah. They're bored. They're dozing off. They're holding their head. Man, this was the most boring things I've ever seen in my life. I wish that guy and his wife would leave already. They're bored. And what? You look for your phone and look for something else. You're bored. Now, some of you might not be believing me, so if I could see you right now, you would go like this.
You're thinking about this.
Yes, you're evaluating. Very good.
Evaluating. Thinking about this.
Is he telling me the truth? Is he honest with me? Is he telling me what's going on? Which means you're on the fence. You're on the fence. Now, I've got to tell you, when I used to sell, and many of you know I was a salesperson as well as marketing person, when I saw somebody go like this, I was thrilled. And I would come back.
Because you knew he was thinking about
Yes.
it, so you knew that he hadn't said no.
Right. So then what I would do is watch this. This is unbelievable. I would say to them, what are you thinking about the proposal so far? Yep, she did it. Yes, she did. I bet you did too. You know what you did? You didn't even know you did it?
They don't know.
You know, right?
I know.
You know?
I know.
You know, how many of you mimicked me or mirrored me? Just a little bit. You didn't even know you did it. If I had a replay, I'd show it to you. You went just like that. Yeah, see? That's body language that I'm sending you. I can actually get you, if I was selling, to say yes when you go just a little bit on like that. If I was trying to sell somebody and the guy went like that and I was talking, I would say, geez, it seems like you don't quite see yet where the benefits are to you. Let me open up your eyes. I did that. I did. You saw me. So, yeah. Now, by the way, you might be saying, okay, Andy, please leave me alone. I'm not selling anymore. But sometimes you deal with other people. Sometimes people promise you things. Sometimes people make this commitment to you. You're probably wondering and saying, well, Andy, that's fine. What happens over the telephone? I'll explain that to you. Don't worry. Can't give the whole boat away yet. All right. So there are some other things. There's just a bit of a difference. When somebody goes like that.
Like this?
Yeah. That's not the same thing as bored.
Oh, what is this? I'm contemplating?
Nope, you already contemplated.
Okay, so I don't know.
You're having negative thoughts.
Oh, this is negative thought?
Yep. When somebody goes like that and the thing is closed, in other words, there's a little bit of a hole here, that's negative thoughts. Now you're saying to yourself, probably some of you are going like that. You went from this to this, okay? And you said, because you don't believe it. You don't have to go like that. You can go like, you don't believe it. And I will see that as a science of body language. Now, here's the point. If someone is trying to sell you, guess what? And they're professionals, guess what they're going to look for?
Body language.
Yeah, you betcha. Body language. They'll know how to read you as well as I'm teaching you how to read them. And I got to tell you something. That's fun. Guys, gals, I'll give you another one that's shocking.
Shocking.
Shocking. Okay? It might not be age appropriate, but it's shocking.
Okay.
All right? If, in fact, and you've seen this on TV in the movies, so I'm not making this up. If a man is walking by a lady and the lady finds the man attractive, what will she do? Oh, okay, partly. That's a little bit too obvious.
I don't know. She'll look at him.
In addition to that,
I don't know.
she will take, if her hair's long enough, she will take her hair, and what is this called when you do that?
Twirling it
She
around.
will twirl her hair around. Now, what does that mean?
I don't know.
That means that she would like to meet that person. That's exactly.
And the male is supposed to know this?
Oh, yes. And I can prove it to you. I think I told you the story. One time I was traveling with a salesperson because I used to be a sales manager, and I was going over body language, and he was reacting like you are, Andy. You are so full of malarkey. And I happened to be talking about the preening, is what it's called.
Preening.
We were doing the preening. So we were waiting for, excuse me, we were waiting for an airplane. And I was looking at everybody sitting in the chairs, and I actually saw this one gal preening. Preening. Now, I couldn't go over to her and say, why are you preening and what do you find? But what she was doing was reading a book. She was reading a book. All right. So I said to my friend, you know what? If we go behind her, I'm going to guarantee you that she is reading a book that has a romantic interlude on the page that she's reading, and that's why she's preening, because she wasn't talking to anybody else. And my friend said to me, Andy, once again, you're full of malarkey. Well, guess what happened?
You went behind her and snooped.
We both did. We snooped. Okay, and I forget the name of the book. It's on the top of my head, but I can't. I don't remember it. But I'm telling you, please, the honesty is here. Okay, yes, I'm telling you the absolute truth. I really am. Please believe me. So what happened was, I looked at the book, and there was a page that said it was a risque page, and I was 100% correct.
Yes, what she was doing.
Now watch this. If you go like this, what do you think that means? I've heard it all, but I'm not impressed.
And to do that again?
Sure. You kind of lean like that.
I've heard it all,
in the doubting
position.
Yep. Oh yeah, you do that beautifully. Every time I come up with an excuse, she goes, "Oh, yeah, I've heard that before. I'm not impressed. Got to come up with." You do that. You know you do. Okay, you bet you do it too. You didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. Look at this whole thing about body language with all the things we're learning that we never knew before. And there is more. Here we go. A lot of people go like this. What does that mean?
Thinking seriously?
Very good.
Ooh.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm making a decision.
Yeah, but you don't have a beard, so why is this?
It doesn't matter. That's what people do.
Okay.
They go like this, and you do that. I've seen you do that before. Oh yes. Don't listen. So sometimes I don't know which restaurant pre-COVID that we wanted to go to, and I would say some stuff, and I had no reaction. But then somehow I would say something, and she went just like that, and I said, "Ooh, that's something you're really thinking about." And what did I do? Yeah, by the way, she does this to me too. She knows all this stuff. So yeah, you betcha. If all of a sudden somebody just sitting and just listening to you, which is norm, by the way, and then all of a sudden they start going like this or scratching or whatever. Now, if they're not talking, by the way, and they're scratching, okay, there's something else that's going on, believe it or not. they don't believe a word you're saying. So if they do this while they're talking, they're lying. If they're scratching a little bit while you're talking, they don't necessarily believe you. If they go like this, okay, they're really thinking about it. Yes. Now you got to be careful, because you give these signals off to other people. So I know when I'm out there doing something, I always make sure that I'm controlling my body language, and I'm looking very, very, very carefully at theirs. And you know when you have a lot of fun doing this? Go ahead.
When do you have a lot of fun doing this?
And I'm not going to talk politics, but when you watch a politician give a speech. Okay? Now, here's something else that people do that's absolutely crazy, and I don't have it in front of me, and I apologize. If, in fact, you're having a conversation with someone, and you're being a little bit on the aggressive, what people do, let's pretend for a moment that this was a cup of coffee. What people do is they take a cup of coffee and hold on to it before they drink it. Why do you think they're holding on to just about any object, including coffee? Why do you think?
Is it the person that's speaking or the person?
The other person, the person that is listening to the speaker. Especially when the speaker is being a little bit on the aggressive side and getting the other person to change their mind.
I don't know. Tell us.
Answer, they're holding the coffee for security. They need something to hold on to. They really do. So all this stuff, there's more, by the way. All this stuff is what Darwin confirmed, and the way people communicated for years in additional language. And you know as well as I do that sometimes you'll see something on TV, and when you see something on TV, right afterwards they'll bring a body language expert on, and he or she will dissect it, and they will be 100% right.
You have a problem with your neck?
No, I do not have a problem with my neck.
Okay.
No.
You're hot under the collar?
No, this would be hot under the collar.
Okay,
You're a pain in the neck.
Oh, you're a pain in the neck.
You're a pain in the neck. So let's say you're having a conversation with someone, and again, I'm not going to talk politics, but it is a political conversation. You want to make your point, they want to make their point. And you see them going like this, okay? That means you're a pain in the neck.
Pain in the neck.
When you see them going like this, they don't agree with what you're saying. When you see them going like this, they don't see what you're saying. When you see them going like this,
they don't hear what you're saying.
They don't understand
like
also
that,
what you're
you're
saying.
lying.
Yeah, and I bet the next time you have a conversation, as long as you're one of the people you're having a conversation with is not listening to this or watching it, okay, you'll see all these things come out. And when you're getting, maybe sales was a bad example. Political conversations are a good one because people have those today. So when you go like this, okay, if someone goes like this, they're actually thinking about it. Maybe you're changing their mind. Don't hold up. Maybe you're changing their minds. Now you have a better appreciation for what all this does. You'd be amazed. And of course, what people do sometimes, they go like that.
Oh my God.
Yes, they're slopping themselves because they didn't have
I can't believe this.
Because they didn't have a V8. I can't believe what that person just said to me. Unbelievable. This is crazy. Knock some sense into me. Knock some sense into them. The people are nuts. I give up. Flabbergasted. They're out of their minds. Yes. Control yourself, Carol.
I will.
Take it easy.
I know, but you did it so well.
Because you've seen it done. You know
know.
what? Did you see what she was doing? I wish I could play this back. Did you see what she was doing with her hair? See how I spot these things? She was preening. She likes when I make...
I have my hair down.
So you can... No, you were preening. I'm telling you the truth. Look, she did it again. You did it again. The best way to a woman's is to make her laugh. Okay? I'm just telling you. Do you see how uncomfortable she is? You know why? You know why? Because she knows I'm right. So she wants me to move on. All right. Oh, come on. How are we doing?
Roll the video.
Roll the video. Okay, let's go with this. All right. So you're having a conversation with somebody. This one you might know. And they go like this. What does that mean?
I'm not giving in. I don't like it, and I'm determined to keep my position.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They're keeping their position. They're defending themselves, okay, from attack. It's a very defensive position. Listen, buddy, you can't get through to me. I'm not going to let you get through to me. It's not going to happen, okay? And you know that when you're having a conversation with them, and then all of a sudden they open up their arms, you got it. Now I'm going to teach you a trick. I've used this trick. If you're having a conversation with someone, this is amazing. If you're having a conversation with someone and they've closed their arms, here's what I want you to do. I want you to close your arms too. And then as you're talking, open them. And then what do you think that other person is going to do?
Hopefully mimic you.
Just like you did with this. Okay? It's called, don't believe me, I'm just telling you the truth. It's called mirroring. And people will mirror other people. They can't help it. They can't control it. So if you want to break it up that way, that's one of the ways to do it. Another way to do it, this is really kind of cool, is you ask the person if you're sitting at a table. Before I give away the answer, if you're sitting at a table, you're having a conversation with somebody, and they're going like this, and whatever you're saying is not getting through to them, what's another way of maybe getting them to open up their arms?
Offer them something.
I was thinking of something else. Okay, offer them something, or what else? Can you pass the salt, please?
Distraction.
No. Two things.
Because they have to move their arms in order.
They have to move their arms to give you the salt.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but this stuff works, and then you continue to have that conversation, and you keep your arm, and you take the salt from them. Now, here is manipulative discussion, and I read this in a book. This is not mine, and it works like a charm. The minute somebody gives you something subliminally, you know what I'm about to say? What? You go back and you ask them for confirmation of what you just said, or even for agreement with what you just said. And when you do it, you go like that. There's a scientific study that said the moment somebody gives you something, and that's true in negotiations too. You know the old expression in negotiations? The first one to concede is the first one to lose. Okay? So when somebody does that, just ask them for salt and then go back and ask for agreement, and then you'll have it. All right, let's try another one. You're walking. I have to move back because I have to show something. So it's okay. She's worried you're going to see what I'm wearing under here. The truth might or might not be revealed. Let me explain something to you. I'm wearing something. Okay, not to worry. So if you go someplace and they are like this, that's what I want to do. Sure. What does that mean?
I'm not that interested. Relaxed. I'm not that interested. I don't know.
Here we go. Ready for this? Here's what it means. It means I am the most superior person here.
Oh.
That is a sign of superiority. Yep, it's a sign of superiority. And you get that in people with what? A high ego, right? Someone who thinks the world of themselves, someone who thinks everybody else is way beneath them, and that's what occurs. So you got to be very, very careful. So what do you do when you see somebody who's like that?
You mirror them?
No. Nope. What do you do? It's kind of a phony thing, but what do you do?
I don't know. What do you do?
You actually compliment them. You might want to call them Mr. or Mrs., make them feel good, go right to their ego, and then you'll see exactly what happens. And you know another way to help people out? You know another way?
What's another way?
See, she did it. She smiled. You know, talk about mirroring. You didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah, you smiled, so I smiled with you.
You smile, they will smile back. I know what you're saying. No, it can't be. But try it. You'll find out. Try it. You'll like it. I'm telling you, it works. You smile at somebody, and they will smile back. You will, in fact, make them happier. But sometimes people have a fake smile. Yeah, that's it. It's a fake smile. Oh, I know that smile. Carol, are you happy today? Yeah. So, I can tell. Can you tell the same thing? You bet. All right. So let's assume, for example, you've got a politician up there, and Carol was right before, and the politician is, in fact, getting questioned by the press, getting hammered. Again, I don't care who it is. I'm not going to get into politics. So, a couple things. If you see somebody going like that, what does that mean?
Hot under the collar.
Hot under the collar. Man,
Don't ask me any more
don't
questions.
ask me any more questions. You'll probably leave. What happens if somebody starts biting their nails?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, very good. Very good. They
okay.
need reassurance. So you've got to reassure them. Okay? So, a lot of these things. And sometimes if a guy goes like this, he's uncertain of what is going on, uncertain of what is being said. Now, again, women, men, pay attention. It's true. It's true. You know, I told you about women preening?
Yes.
Okay? If a woman, and I can't show this, but if a woman is sitting in a chair and her legs are crossed, which is it's supposed to be, okay? But yet, her feet are going up and down, what do you think that means?
I'm on the prowl.
Yeah, it actually has two different meanings. It's interesting. One says they're bored, and the deeper meaning is they're bored, they're impatient, and because they're bored and impatient, and they see a good-looking man walk by, or somebody who's attractive, you can't say man anymore, man or woman, somebody who's attractive. Did you see what she just did with her head?
I'm listening.
Did you see what she... Now, did you listen with belief, or did you say, I doubt it?
I doubt it.
Yes. See how that... We don't plan this stuff.
I doubt
yes,
it.
I gotta look at the screen, but look at her at the same time. Did I call it?
You called it.
Not because I knew her for 50 years, okay? But when a woman does that, she is looking for some type of intimate, I'll say it that way, intimate relationship. So men, if you're walking by, and you're single, that's just the way it is. All right, let's do something else. Here's a fun one. You can't do this anymore, but in any event, when somebody shakes hands, right? Here's something you don't know. How many times should you go up and down?
I never thought of it. I don't know.
There is protocol for that.
Really?
Yeah.
3 times.
Where'd you get the number 3
I
from?
don't know. It sounds good.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
3 times.
It sounds good.
1, 2, 3.
Sounded good.
Break.
Sounds
Break.
good.
Actually, I'm going to show this to you because we know each
What
other.
are we doing?
We're going to shake for a minute, okay? So, let's assume. Watch this. We're shaking hands, and I go like that. Can anyone guess what profession I'm in?
You're in the humanist profession. I don't know.
Humanist
I
meaning?
don't know. You're a doctor. You're in a healthcare profession.
Politician.
Politician. Oh, because I'm going to grab you and I want you to vote for me.
That's it right
Oh,
there. Very
wow.
good. Very good. Very good. How about, give me your hands. How about like this? What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm expressing sympathy with you. I feel for you. Let's get through this together. See, you never knew that. But you do that. You know you do it. Yes. And, of course, someone goes like this. This is very tricky. When someone says, you know what, I really feel for you, that's a sign of sincerity.
Really?
Yeah, I really feel for you. I really do. It's
How
not that
can
you
I
give
help
up.
you?
But when they lower their hands, just a little bit, what does that mean?
Not to see you?
No. What do you want me to do? Leave me alone. You told me the same thing 100 times. What do you want me to do? Leave me alone.
Pain in the neck.
My God, it's getting hot in here. Yes. How are we doing so far? Yes, let's see what else we can tell you about, because these are fun. Yes, you've got to be able to smile. By the way, how fast you walk is, and I can't do this now, also determines what kind of an individual you are, and it also talks about what kind of a mood you're in. And one thing that I do sometimes that she doesn't like, I put my hands behind my back when I walk. And what does that mean?
Yes, what does that mean?
That means, quite frankly, I'm preoccupied. I really don't want to be here. I really don't want to be part of this, but I'm preoccupied. I'm thinking of where I would rather be as compared to where I am. So what do you want me to do about it? Okay, she put me here. I got to go there, and that's just all there's to it. And it's a pain in the neck, and I'm freaking bored. Or, you know what? I love it when she tells me to come here. I think it's just the greatest thing. I just absolutely love it. I love going to the supermarket. I love doing the dishes. I'm telling you, it's great. Did you catch all those lying things that I do?
Catch me saying, what a liar.
Yeah, all these things work. So the science of body language is a science that has been around for so many years. And now, of course, what do you do with the information that you receive? What do you think they should do with the information that they receive?
They should look at it the next time they're talking to a person. Maybe it'll come back to them when they see they're arguing or having a heated discussion. Maybe they should think about it.
Watch what she did. I love this.
What did I do?
She tilted her head in evaluation, and then she said, when they're having a heated argument, you see that? I see these things. I watch. Raise the head. Now, I know when you see me again in person, you're gonna come in, cover your face and your arms. You won't move a thing because you say, boy, this guy really knows what I'm thinking. But yeah, not only me, but so many other people who know what's going on. And I don't want you to be at a disadvantage. I don't want you to be taken advantage of because people know how to read you and you don't know how to read them. That's not really being fair. That gives somebody the one-sided advantage. So, let's go ahead and review what you learned today. 85 to 90% of everything that we communicate. See what I do? By the way, even before I go there, do you like people who, when they talk, that they just go like this and talk and give a speech? What do you consider them?
Boring.
But when they have gestures and they emphasize, like she does and I do, and they emphasize their points, do you like that? Why?
It holds your interest.
Yes.
And it shows their personality.
Yes.
And you're able to discern what they're really saying.
Yes, absolutely, if you know how to read it. Now, there are some people that will teach others, and politicians are famous for this. They'll have body language experts not only teach them how to read somebody else's body language, they will also have it from when they are taught what to do to express the truth so that they hide from giving those things. By the way, one of the things we talked about, which I didn't do yet, is how to tell somebody over the phone.
Yeah.
Well, couple things. Number one, excuse me. Well, I did that on purpose. If they clear their throat, they are under tension. If they clear their throat while they are talking, they are about to enter into a lie. If they clear their throat while you're talking, that means you are irritating them. Okay, and that's, by the way, in conversation, but these things occur also. When somebody changes their pace of speech or even lowers their speech just a little bit, they could be entering into a lie. Why? Because, number one, they're talking slower. I'm doing this on purpose. Number one, they're talking slower because they want to make sure that the lie is worded properly and they don't want to make any mistakes when they do it. And you can hear that on the phone. For example, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, hi, my name is Jack from the Social Security office. By the way, I just want to let you know that if you don't pay your Social Security or whatever the scam is, we're going to send a warrant out for your arrest. I hope you understand everything I just said. So, that's what you have to listen to when there's a scam. Very important. And obviously, when you see somebody in person, that becomes important also. So these are all things which are the science of body language. So you have an option. Now that we're almost done, you can grunt. That's full of malarkey. I didn't like that guy. Terrible. Full of malarkey. Well, don't need that stuff. You can smile. Hey, that was pretty good. You can go up like that and says, boy, I'm happy I paid attention to this. You can smile back at me and say, wow, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You could say this whole thing was a freaking pain in the neck. Okay? You can lie to me and say, you know what, I really enjoyed the presentation. I thought that was absolutely superb. Or you can say, you know what, I enjoyed the presentation. I'm really going to think it over and see what's going on. Or, you know what, this whole presentation actually bored the heck out of me. Well, you know what, yeah, I'm not quite sure about what you were saying, but you know what, there's a part of me that thinks it makes sense. Now, I can almost guarantee you that as I was about to do every one of those motions, you now knew what was coming. And prior to this discussion, you didn't. So if there was 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 different things that you were able to pick up that helps you, even 1 or 2, then you know what? It was my pleasure, my absolute pleasure, for Carol and I to present this to you. If it helps you better establish relationships and be a better communicator, we are thrilled to have you do that. So Carol, what do you say we choose as to what TV program we watch next?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. I got odds. I don't even know what you got.
Wait, you didn't call what you wanted.
I have odds.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
Once,
1,
twice, 3, shoot. All right, what do we got? Odds.
We got odds, so I win.
We got odds.
I get the TV program tonight.
You get the TV program tonight. And you know what's a good thing, Carol?
What?
That I showed my 2 fingers this way and not that way.
way.
My name is Andy Greenberg. That's Carol Greenberg. We'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed it so much. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.